welcome back to my channel. This part of the video is a warning against the airline Transavia. This is my personal experience about how I felt things were in a negative way. If you want to skip this part of the video, I'll put a timestamp below so that way you can just watch the actual trip. If you choose to stay and watch this, I hope that it helps you and that the same thing doesn't happen to you in general. Basically, after Switzerland, we were bused back to Paris for the night. My flight was at 6:30 in the morning, so when I woke up, I went to the airport and everything was normal. I didn't get any emails or anything like that. However, when the flight started, it was about 3 hours in, and then we landed on an island. What island? I'm not really sure. The announcements were only coming on in French, so thankfully one of the flight attendants was nice enough to translate for me. And basically what had happened was that the winds in Madeira Island were so bad that we might have to turn back around and go back to France. I checked my emails and then that's when I saw that the airline had expected this to happen. I'll put that somewhere in the video. I called my boyfriend to tell him because I was meeting him and his family there. He was currently in Lisbon airport, and they had told him that the Madeira airport was closed and had been closed all day and was not going to open up at all due to port winds. So where this pilot thought we were going to land, I don't really know. We stayed on this random island for an extra hour to see if the airport would open, but then we ended up turning back around to Paris. When I got there, I got an email that instead of putting me on the flight for the next day, they put me on a flight for next week. And of course, I called my boyfriend freaking out, and he went and looked online and they had availability for the next day. So he bought it. It was like an additional 59 euros. And I went to the receptionist area to figure out what to do for lodging and figure out about this ticket situation. And they said that they would only pay for 1 night hotel stay out of the whole week that they were originally going to keep me there. I let them know that I had already paid for a flight for the next day, and she just gave me a number so that way I could call to be reimbursed for the money that I paid, which I never got to this day. They told me and the other passengers that we needed to get on bus number 2 to go to the hotel. No name of the hotel, no other information. So of course, with my anxiety, I was a little upset and crying, and some lady on the bus saw me, and I really want to believe that she had the best intentions and that she was genuine. She said, don't worry about the hotel, that she knows the owner of this other hotel and she'll help me out. And before I could stop her, she already went on the phone and she was talking in French. When the bus stopped, I noticed the main group going to this specific hotel, so I went to follow them. But then the lady told me, no, come with me, it's fine. But the area that she was pointing at was a railway yard. There was no hotel in sight. And I was trying to be nice, and I was like, oh, well, let me check out this hotel, and if anything, I'll follow you to that side. When I got inside, the hostess was really nice. He had pizza and drinks ready for all of us, free of charge. And I asked him privately if there was a hotel over there where the lady had originally told me. And he looked super confused. He said, there's nothing there. There's like only 3 hotels, and they all make like a B shape, so that way it's easier for the bus to kind of get around. So that was like super great for my anxiety, you know. After almost being kidnapped, I went to my room and went to bed and woke up again at 6:30 in the morning for my flight, only to find out that Transavia overbooked the flight and almost didn't let me on the plane, even though I had already paid and selected my seats. So I started crying. I called my boyfriend because I had never experienced so much issues from one airline. It was just back to back. But thankfully there was a receptionist there who felt so bad for me crying that she was able to get 2 other agents, work something out, and magically get me on this plane. I gave them my luggage. I saw it going onto the ramp. I got on my flight, calmed down, and overall the flight was okay till we actually got to the island. The winds were really bad. 1 minute I was looking up at the sky, the next moment straight down to the ocean. At that point I kind of just prayed and kind of was ready to, you know, go. Thankfully we landed and everything was okay. I got off the flight, and when I went to get my bag, nothing came. They couldn't find my bag. If you take anything from this message, please buy an air tag. I was able to find that my bag was still in France at the Orly airport in Terminal 4, where I had originally left it. I told the rep and they were able to put in a claim for it. I didn't get my bag for 3 days. Thankfully, my boyfriend bought me clothes, which I was told would be reimbursed. Again, nothing. When I finally got my bag on the 3rd day, it was broken. Like the metal on the zipper where like you would put the lock in was ripped apart. I don't even know how that's possible. Again, I'll put a picture somewhere here, but I filed a claim right away, and it's been over a month, and all I have is a bunch of acknowledgement emails. No help, no rep reached back out to me, nothing. Transavia is absolutely the worst airline I've ever flown in my life. I will personally never fly them again. Do what you want with this, but I won't. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the better part of my trip, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi guys, so after the nonsense of last night and somewhat this morning, I was finally able to get on the bus to go back to the plane to this time try and head to Madeira Island. After almost dying on the flight, we finally made it to Madeira Island. It's so beautiful. The skies are just so blue. The airport is so pretty, and look at that ocean. After everything that had happened, I was so happy to finally be with my boyfriend and his family. I finally knew that I was safe and I wasn't alone. Look at these mountains. I definitely understand why they call it the Hawaii of Europe. Look at this view. This is just something you see straight out of a movie. We got up and went to go get breakfast, and after that we went straight to his family's old home. They still own it. This was built back in the 1970s. All these boxes are also from the 1970s. His grandpa had built this whole place on his own, and to this day it's still in their family name. There's a lot of places like this where their families still own property from older generations, and it just stays in their family.
See, over here there was steering wheels over here. See, over here. Una escalera que subían por aquí.
What's gonna happen? You know what issue I've got with all this zone?
Home, we went and paid our respects to Steve's grandparents, and then we headed out to the beach. Look at that water. It's so crystal clear. It's insane. These are the original tunnels that go through the mountain. Fear of heights is no secret, but thankfully between Steve and his family and his dad also being scared of heights, it really helped me feel comfortable because this was the only way down to get to this little city. And this is Steve recording because I could not look at anything else at all. We finally made it to the bottom and I caught my breath, and look at that ocean. Honestly, I was just waiting for a dinosaur to pop out from the background. There was just so many mountains. It just blows my mind. Can't tell me that a T-Rex is not gonna come from there at some point in time. After getting some ocean air, we went back to the Airbnb to relax. Anyways, I'll see you guys in next week's video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.